just be. You don't have to do anything for me to love you. Just be. Just be. You don't have to do anything for me to love you. Just be. 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 You don't have to do anything for me to love you. Just be. Just be. You don't have to do anything for me to love you. Just be. Just be. Just be. Just be. Just be. Just be. You don't have to do anything for me to love you. Just be. Just be.
Hello, hello, hello.
Do anything for me to love you.
Hello.
Just be. 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 Just be.
All right, super nice intro music, which for the very first time, we actually have one of our, or two of our local artists, or a collab actually, as the intro music, which is great. I'm super stoked about that. I'm glad it worked out. Got it. I know, it's all good.
You don't have to do anything for me to love
Felipe, are you around?
Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm all right. I'm all right. I've got to remove the curtain.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
You don't have to do anything for me to love you. Just be. Just be. You don't have to do anything for me to love you. Just be. Just Just be, just be, just be, just be, just be, just be.
All right. Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me? Thumbs up.
Yep.
Sweet. I'll pause the music. All right, here we go again. One more time with the wonderful world of getting our media straight. Style. So we're using StreamYard. This is the second time we've used StreamYard, which is amazing because you can obviously do a whole bunch of amazing things with graphics and sharing. And I think can everybody see us?
Yeah.
Welcome back to Creators Guild. This is the Creator Opportunities Edition. We've had, I think, like probably many sessions of sitting around tables just saying like, oh, there's this thing, and then there's that thing, and then what about that thing? And then, oh, that deadline's passed. We're like, oh, we should still bring it up. So I think between all of our socials and our channels, and we've sort of been generally aware of probably a lot of things that are going on, but just wanted to take a moment to literally share things out within the things that we've been discussing within our community, like also like just sort of in a serendipitous kind of way, like, hey, did you hear about that thing? But then, of course, when I was talking to Felipe, and Felipe has been around in our community for the past, I would say the past two sort of fall winter seasons, and then he flies back to his beautiful, wonderful homeland where he does NFT Brazil, and we were chatting, and he said, hey, we're rebranding NFT Brazil. And I said, hey, wonderful, we should talk about that. And also, I guess, sort of like in lieu of perhaps any Superteam Brazil activity, we can sort of maybe start the conversation because we still have some time. I think with all these things, like some things, of course, are pretty pertinent. There's a couple dates that are coming up in due dates. They're coming up in like 2 days. So on the 14th, I think we've got three deadlines coming up then, which we'll share out. But Felipe, you all have a bit of time with NFT Brazil, but at the same time, it's such a big event that I think it doesn't hurt to start early. And if at any point you feel like saying something in Portuguese, please do, because I don't want to exclude anyone. Of course, ironically, we are Superteam Germany Creators Guild, and we are often speaking English because we have so many international creators here and people in our community, of course. But yeah, we've got Bloody on the way. He'll pop up whenever he does. But in the meantime, I'm happy to give Felipe the stage to tell us all about is this the third edition of NFT Brazil, which will then be Token Nation?
Yeah, yes, it's gonna be the third edition in Brazil of our event, and the first two editions was NFT Brazil.
Yeah.
Now we are becoming the Token Nation. I would like to show you some photos and some stuff, and say why we are changing and why we are evolving from NFT to Token Nation.
Please do.
And, about Blood, he just asked me about the link, so I sent him the link to.
Oh, super! Oh,
yeah.
super.
Okay. Do I have a time to show you some?
Go for it. Please do. Yeah, we've got one quick reminder. We have usually in the past have had Developers Guild coming in right hot on our tail at 1900 here Berlin time, but in this case we've actually got all new guilds, which is called the Product Guild, which will be led by Just Right. I'm a happy writer. In Munich, and we'll tie that in with a few other things that Bloody's going to share out. But yeah, in the meantime, please feel free to go ahead and share out everything you'd like to about NFT Brazil.
Okay, and how many minutes do I have? Do you think? Just
I think we talked about like 15 or 20, but I'm not gonna necessarily cut you off, and we can also weave it back into a few other AMA Q&A type things throughout the rest of the show if you'd like. So don't feel too pressed for time or anything, but yeah, just go for it. And and if we're running short on time, then maybe I'll be like alarm, cut you off.
Did you see my screen?
Let me see here. It's going.
Just to make sure everybody see my screen.
Can maybe presentation mode or something? Can you? Is it possible to present it right in the middle there?
I'm presenting from the studio here.
Okay, maybe. Uh-oh, here we go. Let me see if there's something I have to do.
There's another, there's another screen.
Yeah. I had to add your screen to the stage. There we go. Now we're all here.
All right. Okay.
Everything's just fine.
Okay, just going to be quick here. I'm Felipe Amaral. I'm from Brazil, born in Sao Paulo. My background is Italian, so I'm based in Berlin now. And yes, I'm an art director for all my life and marketing specialist too. And since 2020, I'm into Web3. And now my mission is to help artists, creators, and brands to navigate and thrive in the new tokenized economy. So today, I'm going to talk about NFT Brazil, the big event that we're doing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. So just some big numbers here. For the two first editions, we had 40,000 people attending our event between students, companies, and artists and creators as well. We had a partnership with the mayor of the city, which we brought some students from the public school system. So for these kids, were the first time they're getting in touch with this kind of technology and digital art. So our mission is to inspire them too as well. So I'm going to pass through a video here so you can see a little better how was the last edition was on September of 2024. Okay, so this was a little bit of what happened on 2024. This is some brands that work together with us there. So as you can see here, we have a lot of Web2 brands mixed with some Web3 brands too. We have some representations of Solana people speaking on the stages. And this is our mission, to bring new people on board on Web3. And yeah, for the next year, we felt that the name NFT was getting a little too old, and we are way more than NFTs. We have we talk about refi, DeFi. Now we have a whole AI area too as well. So we are a platform too as well that connects business to technology, culture, education, social impact in a single ecosystem. So for this year, NFT Brazil evolves and we are becoming the Token Nation. That was the name that we voted for. And our tagline is the movement of the new digital age. So NFT Brazil this year is going to be Token Nation, and this is we are going through a rebranding too as well. So I did the rebranding. So I brought this abstract and pixel mood for the new branding, and here a little bit more of the new shapes and other colors too, and how we're gonna show off our new event to Brazil and the world. And here is a little bit of the merchant that we can do with the Tokenation events too. And here's the spot. The spot is it's a very special spot in Brazil because it's the main building where the Bienal of Arts happens. It's very traditional. The Fashion Week happens here, so we wanted to occupy this space as an artist because we have this strong issue, which is to bring culture and artists into Web3 and digital art. So this was very important for us to be in this spot in Brazil. And just to show you how our event is gonna be, we separated in two pieces. Like the right side is gonna be the side of the exhibition and the experiences area, and the left side is where we have the conferences and the stages, the talks and the business, and everything happens there. So this is a mix of an exhibition and a conference all together, and we have people and artists from all over Brazil that comes to these 2 days of event. And we call the conference area on-chain area, so we can talk about the new technologies coming up, and we have the main stage we call the stage Tokenation. We have the AI stage, which is super important now, is coming up. And for the AI, we divided in 4 zones. Experimentation, people can actually experiment the new technology that's coming up. Demonstration of use cases, they can learn about it, and some innovation, some companies that show us some cases for us too. So it's going to be heavy, this part of AI in our event. We have the Degen stage, which is totally about only Web3, the raw Web3 people comes here. I think it's very important too. And we have the future stage too, which we talk about refi and governance, education, social, environment. And we also have a hackathon going on during these 2 days of event, and with some prizes. So a lot of things going on in there. So for the experience area, where we have the exhibition and the immersive activations, we have the expo, which we're gonna have around 200 artists, digital artists, generative artists. We have a curator in Brazil, and that's because I'm here in Berlin too, because I'm here to know some new artists, so we exchange some knowledge, so people from here can show off the work there. And I want to bring some artists from Brazil to here, so we can connect the communities. I think it's very important, this connection. Just some pictures what happened this last year. We have an area where we could have the physical arts with their digital twins too as well. And yes, this is very possible. So artists can, check it out, how I can have my physical art and also have a digital twin on chain, right? And we have an area where some artists from street art, they were like doing some live arts there, and we minted on chain too after they did some street art, which was so great too as well. So we had a lot of kind of arts, and yes, it was very, very big, and we had a really good community around this. And for the next year, now this year, we're gonna have something similar too as well. We want to bring all kind of arts, included this this is the part of the immersive room where people can actually, an artist can create 360, some motion graphics 360, and we have sound, and it's very immersive. And yeah, this is great. This is one of the Berlin artists that I took from here. Yes, I forgot his name, but yes, it was really great to have him in Brazil for showing off for the immersive room. And we actually are bringing to some new art pieces like this one, which is the new media, where you can interact with some artworks in Brazil. So I met these guys here in Berlin. They're from Poland. They might be there this year too with us, showing their artworks. So yes, we have a very open space for artists in our event. And also we have the metaverse and games area, which the event happens in the metaverse as well at the same time, so people can go into the real life event and also into the metaverse. And also we are building the São Paulo city metaverse, so it's our responsibility to create the São Paulo city, the most famous sites in the metaverse, so people can visit in the metaverse before they visit the city. And we're gonna have the token store too, which we're gonna have some arts from some artists that they're gonna, some artists that's gonna be with us. They can sell some merchant of the arts there too for the public. And before the event, we're gonna have for 15 days. We call the street gallery. So we're gonna have all over. For 4 capitals in Brazil, we're going to show some digital arts through these out-of-home displays. And yes, it's going to be very great too to have like this street gallery from some curator, some arts that we're going to curate for. So, and by the end of the event, we have this closing party. Every year we have this big party for the final of the event. And yes, this is it. I wanted to show you what we are doing in Brazil for the conference and this opportunity for artists. And if we have some artists watching us here, I would like to invite you guys to get in touch with me and follow our Instagram and Twitter. We're gonna have an open call. Maybe you can show your art in this edition on June and next year. And this is it. Thank you so much. If you have any questions, I'll be glad to respond.
For sure. Wow. Okay, so you have so much going. Bloody, I just want to say hi, Bloody. I'm sorry I didn't snag you on the before Felipe went, but thank you so much, Felipe. I've seen this a few different versions of your presentation as time has gone on, and I'm always amazed at the scope. And it seems like you've really encompassed sort of like many. I mean, I think everybody, yes, like we're in this phase where NFT seems like a bit of an old-fashioned term in Web3, but you guys there in NFT Brazil seem to have really like sort of encompassed like a full spectrum of what we consider Web3, and it's super exciting because you're telling me about like how integrated I would say crypto is already in Brazil.
Yes, yes. We have a strong community there. So we are the first event that put everybody together because we had some little events spread around the country.
Mhm.
And Brazil is, I think, is number 10 in the world of Web3 adoption already of wallets. This year in Brazil, the government will launch a new blockchain so people can use to you're going to be able to use a blockchain of the government. So you can sell your car through NFT. You can sell your house and
Oh boy.
use blockchain. So yeah, we are on the testing already, testing everything, and going to be out there. I think for the public next year because this year is still testing a lot. But yes, everybody is very excited about the adoption of these new technologies, decentralized. We're going to cut costs and we're going to be more effective. And yes, I see this is going to be great for artists too, for artworks, for galleries, for artists to mint their arts for this new tokenized economy, right?
No, for sure, absolutely. I think this is one of these things where when you see the scale of something like this, or some of the events that we've been to recently, like we recently discussed Bloody Catstemple, and then also NFT Paris, and then yeah, it's just amazing the kind of things that can happen when you get a whole bunch of creative minds together with technology. So super awesome. I'm just curious. You said you kind of like onboard a lot of young people. It becomes sort of almost an educational thing, and how does that what does that look like? What does that look like? You're bringing students through and they're sort of experiencing this for the first time, maybe, or at least this aspect of it for the first time.
Yes, in Brazil, we have like some people that doesn't have too many opportunities if you don't are born in a family that can give you some resources to get in touch with this new technology. So that's because we partnership with the mayor of the city, so we could bring all these kids from the public system, and they could actually get in touch with this new technology for the first time. So it was amazing, like 10,000 kids, like using VR goggles and seeing the possibilities to create this new digital art. So it was amazing to see so many kids get in touch with these technologies, get in touch with this kind of art, get in touch with even with the artists that were there. So yes, this was one of our missions, to inspire people, to inspire these kids, so they can look for the future, and maybe they can think about being an artist too. Why not? So
No, for sure. I think definitely something that once somebody comes across something like this, and especially I think one thing that you mentioned in terms of opportunities and one of the through lines that we've always discussed in Creators Guild, and especially one of the things that brought artists into the Web3 space, is the fact that you are able to steer your own destiny much more thoroughly than you would in a traditional art world, or just being in the physical art realm. So yeah, love to see the evolution of this and all the possibilities that come through. And yeah, here we are, 2025, NFT Brazil, aka Token Nation. Yay! And I will say that
invited. It's a great energy, like a big event, great energy. Everything's is going on. I wish I could take you all you guys with me this year.
Oh, we wish you could too. Oh yeah. For sure, for sure. Bloody, hello, sir. How's it going? You.
Doing good. Can you hear me fine? Little mic check.
I can hear you fine. And you have been just, I think on our unofficial sort of Friday meetings, you have just been showing up with so many ideas and you're connecting so many dots. And I am just like, we've got to have you back up and talking about this. Of course, Bloody, you have your own spaces and you're all over the place doing your thing. But I would love, I always love to hear you just talk straight through these channels and share out. But I know you have probably a long short list of things that we all should know about as creators in terms of opportunities, and of course things that are happening right here in our city and in our country of Germany.
Yes, sir. So multiple things coming up. I mean, you have this beautiful ticker down there, so keep a good eye on that.
I worked hard on that.
My line, you basically encompassed it all there, right there. So and basically less than 48 hours, the first Solana Global Creator Competition is going to end. The guys at Little Unusual are hosting this, and there's more than $100,000 online, so might be worth the effort. And there's still just a little bit time, and just not enough time to do any procrastination from here on out. So if you do want to participate, now is the time. Go to Little Unusual's Twitter profile, or just to sgcc.com. Then you should be able to still sign up and still submit. So March 14th is the deadline on that one. Pretty exciting. And then also the Solana Collective has a content hackathon up. I'm not sure if that started yet or is about to start, but that's pretty current. And I think it is starts March 14th. So in 2 days, right after the other hackathon, which makes sense. So yeah, that will be opportunities to get involved in content creator contests. And that's the first time we do that. So the more people participate, the more likely it is that we will find sponsors and do this again on the global stage. So please, if you can make any time, everybody consider to partake in that. And also we have something going on here in Berlin. Next week, we have the first official Drip Creators meetup here in Berlin, which is pretty exciting and quite mind-blowing for this to be the first official one, because so many Drip creators within Superteam have been meeting up almost every week here before. But happy to have so many people from throughout Germany come into town, even from outside of Germany. So Serious Crocodiles coming in from, I think, Belgium. And then I had a lovely conversation with a drip creator from Prague, who's a mom and who's going to bring her 2 kids. One is 2 years old, the other is 6 years old, and the 6-year-old is a drip creator too, which is kind of mind-blowing. Yeah, and so she's going to come with her whole family and bring her husband too, so that he can take care of the kids for the evening part of the event, because they will join us for the co-working beforehand as well. So as many of you know, we have Superteam co-working Fridays, most every Friday at W3 Hub. And we are inviting all drip creators to join us for this co-working already too, so that we have more time to get to know each other and talk amongst each other, because the evening event is from 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. only. So we have the official drip creator meetup on March 21st from 7 to 10 in the evening. And we meet up on the very same day next week on Friday at W3 Hub here in Berlin to have our co-working Friday with Creators Guild at 3 p.m. So that people can get a grasp of what Superteam does, what we do with the Creators Guild, and get to know that we basically have a tiny drip creators meetup every week at W3 Hub, at least for the Berlin crowd. And so if people can't make it for the evening part, they can still come for the daytime part at the co-working. And if they are working throughout the day, then they can come party with us in the evening. Again, March 21st will be pretty wild and exciting. And the last thing on my menu is Munich. The super stage that we started here in Berlin and had 4 marvelous events at Prachtwerk with, where we had an open stage opened up to all kinds of artists and also creator tooling providers. We're going to do the same thing in Munich. Shout out to Jessica, who's organizing it there. And she's coming from more of a poetry slam background. Our open stage here came from more of a music place originally, and her venue is coming from somewhat of a music concert hall as well, but predominantly known for poetry slams, which I find exciting because we open up the creative genres that we get to expose to Solana and what the tools for creators on Solana could do for them. So pretty excited about that, and hope to be able to go down to Munich with a bunch of our Berlin creators to witness this first Munich first creator-focused super team event in Munich. So very excited about that. And if anyone of you guys know people in Munich that should be part of that super stage night, let them know. There will be all the links on super stage on Super Team's Luma and on our Twitter account. Any questions?
Well, once again, I think like it just highlights for me, you know, we've got creators all over the world. We've got creators in every place in every country, and then these ways in which people kind of almost like in a decentralized way, but the platforms being sort of maybe the thing that connect them. Like in this case, for example, Drip. We just happen to have a fair amount of Drip creators in Berlin. Shout out to Esther, of course, and shout out to everybody who's tuned in from their team and also been super communicative when it comes to all of our questions and everything. But I think in this way, it also ends up culminating in an IRL event where you've got an online community that can congeal. Like in terms of how that came about or how you were able to bring that about within our community, what did that look like? Just in case anybody is listening in the world and is considering maybe you know, getting their artists together in their own country or their own community and doing this themselves.
Marvelous point, marvelous point. So Drip House is basically enabling this. Super Team does its part for this particular event as well, of course, but Drip House is basically offering this opportunity to everybody. So if you want to make a Drip meetup happen in your city, then I think the base requirement is to have like at least 5 Drip creators bring one fellow creative along that's not on Drip yet. And then you can get a budget of up to $500 to organize such a Drip creator meetup in your town, which is marvelous. And there's really magic in that. If you had not had the opportunity to meet up with Web3 nerds in real life, make it happen. It's a really valuable experience and could take you places that you cannot see coming yet. I myself had the pleasure to visit Tehran and Iran lately and sit at the table full of Web3 creators there. And it was so moving to see. So yeah, do that first step and make a meetup in your city happen. And you don't need to have it on your own dime. You can have Drip House pay for drinks and food, at least to a certain amount. And they are happy to, because they love to enable such gatherings. Yeah, it's beautiful and would encourage everybody to do that. If there's no event near you, be the one who makes it happen. I just reached out to John. The whole Drip team is very, very approachable and accessible. So just reach out to John or the Drip main account directly and inquire about hosting an event and do it. Just very much can encourage everybody. I was in a prime position to make that happen here in Berlin, just because we're a super team, we can help the event. We have close ties to W3Up, so the venue is essentially free for us. And so that's optimal parameters to make this happen. But even if you have to pay a venue a dime, and for 5 to 10 creators, you can even do that in a bar. You don't even have to pay a venue to make that happen. Then you can just use the money from Drip to cover the bill at the table and have a bloody good night together and talk about Drip with a bunch of people and possibly onboard others to know about this. There's something very rewarding and empowering about doing that. So I can really encourage everybody to do it.
Absolutely. It reminds me of the pizza fund, that is always available from Super Team as well. And it also reminds me of members of our community who have literally gone to venues or bars or cafes and said, hey, what is your least busy night? I can bring a bunch of people in, or whatever. It's like, because there's a ton of space in the city, obviously. So yeah, any way to utilize the space and bring people together, and then also obviously get a bit of funding from a few different parts of Solana, which is really great. And I think we've been very lucky, but these options are just sort of out there, and some people have really made wonderful use of them. So it's always great to see that it's growing and keep moving.
And just as a last word for the Drupal Creator Meetup, in case people are wondering where to sign up, there's a link, there's a pinned post on my profile on Twitter, and from there you can find the Luma link and RSVP for the event. And I would encourage everybody to RSVP. We're not going to be terribly strict about it, but it's going to help us gauge how many people will show up. So if you're planning to show up or want to let someone know about the event, I will post a Luma link here in the Twitter comments as well in a second.
Awesome. Super cool. Thank you so much. Yeah, I've got one little run through of slides in the form of a presentation that I might visit just to make sure we don't forget anything. I know that there's going to be...
Did you lose Paul?
Am I there?
Yeah, you're back. You're back now.
You're back.
I'm back. All right, wonderful. Whew. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna try. I've never tried this before, so let's see what happens. I know you guys had an easy time of it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, here we go. All right, share. I'm not the biggest on slideshows, but honestly, I couldn't think of a better way to do it. So it's F5 to go full screen. Can everybody see that? Uh-oh. It's going crazy on me. Did I lose you?
It's going slow, but it's going at least. Okay.
It's going slow. Okay, okay. I think we're chugging along here with good old StreamYard. Yeah, so I just put a little slideshow here together, and I just wanted to share out a few things so I don't forget them. And before I don't forget, musical notes. I think we've had two wonderful musical spaces recently, and I was actually wanted to do another musical space, but then Ohad, sorry, before you even go into that territory, Bloody, we were able to share out the song that you did as our opening song today. I think you missed it, but it was really awesome. For the first time ever, we had original music by local artists as our intro, because I was trying to think like, like this elevator music that I play every time during the intro is just sort of like, it's okay. But I know that we have many talented creators, so I'm really glad that you responded with some original music that we could share out with our people as we were getting ready today. And I think I'm gonna make a habit of that. So we'll probably have an intro song every time and try to share it out. But yeah, this was a result of your very first collab here with the Superstage in Berlin and those artists, Kelsey Bray, who's moved on to Frankfurt, but we miss her. Also, Ohad, like on another musical note, Ohad has been doing local workshops, which is super awesome. But also at the same time, they have their own music spaces. And here I am like thinking we're overdue for a music space, but Matan and Ohad have gone on and done their own music space, which is super awesome. And I am totally going to tune in on Thursday again, because they just had such a great talk. Vibu from Drip showed up. It's a combination of, I would say, a combination of them talking about what they've been doing here locally, having small groups of intense onboarding of musicians, IRL, and yeah, it's been going. I think they've had 3 sessions now, but then yeah, the spaces have evolved out of that. Art FYIs before I forget as well. This is something that I don't know if I mentioned or not, but so IRL, there's 48 hours Neukölln. I think I'm going to actually do an open call to our community, but also to the global community in the near future, to have a physical space for 48 hours in the end of June, IRL Berlin, and having a combination of local artist work, but also a combination of any global Solana artists you want to submit as well. So I will be sending out that in the near future. It's also one of those due dates that's coming up. And of course, as Bloody mentioned, this has been in the ticker the whole time, but just in case, I wanted to have a nice solid graphic there. This deadline was extended. Little Unusual, their big global creator competition that's been going on for quite a while now. New deadline, and if you haven't seen some of the submissions, I mean, even if you don't have time to submit yourself, like definitely just check out some of the stuff people have been submitting. It's really beautiful, especially this animation from Kronos. It's just if you like pixel and if you like sort of like gamified artsiness, then Kronos does it so amazingly. And I just really enjoyed this this little, it's like adventure graphics sort of that he did for the cutest wellness ring. Super cool stuff. As Bloody also mentioned, Solana Collective, they've got the same day that the Global Creator Competition ends, actually, this is their Twitter. They only have one post. Sorry, so this is their Twitter. They only have one post currently about it, but it starts on the 14th. That URL might be in the ticker, and if it's not, we'll share it out. One other thing that I know a lot of Solana artists have been involved in is this really super cool opportunity residency that's happening down in Italy, which is not too far away. That's through a couple different organizations, but we'll go ahead and share that too. It's also Linda Global, I think, is the main, and then there are a few others, but it just seems super cool. The last thing is, in terms of visual art, that I wanted to give a shout out, and Bloody reminded me of this too as well. We had JT Liss. He was on the first two editions of our Creators Guild ever. So like last year, version 1 and version 2, when we were still in the metaverse. JT shared about the Bonk Art Masters program, and then just today, I noticed that Trev honestly has been our most amazing guest speaker. He's come on a total of 4 times to share about various topics and been always super amazing. So I'm so happy to see that he's getting support. He's going to do a crazy installation in New York City for, I believe, NFT NYC this summer. It's going to be an awesome video store installation, and keep an eye on this. And if you're in NYC during that time, definitely swing by and see it. But I wanted to bring this up as well because it's the kind of example of like maybe one of the best case scenarios where Bonk Art Masters program is something that anyone can apply for. You apply for it with a concept. There's all these different, just check it out yourself, but all these different ways you can apply for support from the Bonk Art Masters program. JT is the grand, the lead of this program. And they basically, support artists and art projects in the ecosystem. So this is somebody who, Trev is somebody who applied for this, and now it's making his idea of having an IRL 90s video store happen in New York City for the duration of NFT NYC. So like, kind of like a best case scenario here. Super awesome. Really happy for him, and really happy that obviously Bonk Art Masters program is continues to support. Whoops, that's an extra slide there. Anyway, this is what I was feeling today. Panic now, but your soul is real.
A quick side note on the Bonk Art Masters program, because it's really everybody that has an idea to host art exhibitions, Web3 art exhibitions specifically, of course, specifically in unusual places. So not like in a classic art gallery, but if you have an unconventional place to host an art event or exhibition, then they are very easy to work with. It's advised to have the venue locked down already before you reach out, so that nobody wastes time. But as soon as you have a venue locked down and a solid idea, just reach out to JT Liss directly, and he's very approachable and is not just willing to provide the funding, but really hands-on guidance for you to organize this event. If you haven't organized events like that yet, they are very willing to handhold and not necessarily handhold, but really provide their rich experience in hosting art exhibitions like that, and to really help you along with logistics and organization as well, to the degree that they can with their experience. So really fret not, and if you have a dope idea for a real life event in an unconventional place to exhibit Web3 art, then that Bonk Art Masters program is very much there for everybody to apply for. So again, just do it.
Fantastic. And I assume it's sort of a rolling, if it's still the case, then it's sort of a rolling thing where you apply, and then if you also have new ideas, then you can also update, sort of let them know that your application has been updated. And yeah, they will revisit your application, and yeah, if they like it, then they'll get back to you. But I think it's one of these things where, like, I think you don't have to just assume that once you apply and then you didn't hear back that you are rejected. You can actually just go ahead and update them directly if something new comes along. So yeah, an ongoing thing that can definitely bring things out of our world of Web3 digital art into a real life space. But like you were saying, an unconventional space that is sort of pre-determined or chosen sounds like is the most ideal scenario for the situation, so that you don't have to hunt down a venue. So art studios perhaps, or just any maybe art center, or like they were saying, maybe even a cafe. Or I can think of, like, every time I think about this, I think, oh my God, there's 12 places that come immediately to mind in Berlin that we could definitely utilize. But yeah, no, that's super cool that they're supporting people again. So yeah, Trev, awesome. Very, I don't know if I'll make it to NFT NYC, but everybody that does make it should definitely stop by Trev's 90s video store. It's going to be amazing. Yeah. Gentlemen, I'm sort of at the end of my list in terms of things that I find absolutely necessary that we should share it with our creative community. If anything else comes to mind, please let me know. The one thing I was thinking of, we haven't touched on at all, is the global hackathon, Colosseum's hackathon. Always room for creative integrations, and there are always room for creators to be a part of a workshop, to lead a workshop. Get in touch with your local Superteam lead and Superteam community if you're anywhere near one of the Superteam centers, which is supporting the global hackathon with something like a build station. We are super spoiled here in Berlin to have the build station for several weeks in the run-up, and especially in the final 2 weeks of the Colosseum hackathons. But there's always room for creators. I think proposals are always welcome, and even if you're not running a workshop, even if you're not doing something independently, you can definitely also figure out a way to join a team and communicate out a project, because that kind of work and that kind of communication talent is always needed. Every winning project has somebody like that on their team, right?
And also we had that discussion at the Creators Guild meetup on last Friday, right, where we also saw that artists are in a unique position, and creators, to identify pain points in products or to come up with product ideas. So if you have an idea for a product that should exist, then the Colosseum Hackathon is really the place to take it in order to find a team to have that thing built. And the more business viability it has in its own right, the better. But also, if it's an open source build project that may not need to make money but should just exist for the sake of it, the Colosseum Hackathon is the place where such things can get built, and where you can find developers looking for a project idea that's worth building. And so even as a creative, be not scared off by the word hackathon. It's a startup competition and business competition more than anything. And so they do need sick pitch decks, they do need demo videos, and they do need our creative perspective to build better products. So pretty please get involved.
Yeah, do not be afraid. The word hackathon, I think you're absolutely right. The word hackathon might be intimidating to some people, but it's also just a wonderful place to learn and to be and to contribute as a creator in the ways that you can, which might not be technical, but absolutely necessary nevertheless. So yeah, there's room for everybody, and yeah, tune in.
Before we wrap up, I do have a note on that, because it might be too technical for most creators, but there will be a workshop, all-day workshop tomorrow here in Berlin out of from Dialect at W3 Hub. about blinks. And blinks are a very, very interesting conversion tool for artists, because they let people buy your shit directly from, say, the Twitter timeline with one click. If they have a Phantom wallet, that then a link to your editions or one of one turns into something that's directly that the user is directly able to interact with on the timeline. So they don't have to visit the marketplace and do multiple clicks. Just with one click, one approval of the transaction, people can buy stuff from you if you use blinks. So it's a topic that's really worth wrapping your head around what it does as a creator, and maybe if you could drop by for that, or just look into blinks in order to learn what they can do for you as a creative. There's either a workshop tomorrow, or Björn, our former DevRel at Superteam, who's happy to answer any questions still about blinks specifically, because he's working with Dialect, basically the entity that invented blinks to begin with. So still the person to hit up with any questions about blinks, and it's a topic that's well worth for creators just to wrap their head around, because I have still seen so many people not understand the concept, whereas it could very easily help them to make more sales.
Absolutely. For sure. Absolutely. I mean, I wish life was that easy, because you're literally just your thing is right there in a beautiful window in the timeline with like a little buy link. And like, I was just like, oh my gosh, it's right there. You don't have to go anywhere else. You can just click a button. And then of course, yes, it's been Björn's job to help people. And once again, it's his job to help people in our community, literally his job. And yeah, his workshops are always super fun. Great place to be. I don't know if they are streaming it, but I would imagine that they.
Yes, it's in person and online tomorrow. So check out Superteam Germany's profile, and you will find all the links to partake online as well. It's you have both options.
Okay, shout out to Björn, shout out to Dialect, shout out to amazing people doing amazing things and spending their time teaching people about these products that can really help creatives a lot. Especially as long as we're all still on X Twitter and doom scrolling. You can stop doom scrolling for a second and actually admire somebody's work and acquire it pretty easily. Whew. Felipe, what do you got? I haven't asked you a question in a little minute, but you got any final words for Creators Guild, Solana Creator Opportunities session here?
Yeah, great. Would like to thank you so much, Paul, for the opportunity to show a little bit what are we doing in Brazil, and this opportunity to for some artists that are watching us to get in touch with me so they can show off their work in Brazil, and we can exchange overseas knowledge and inspiration. And I'm here to help, to foster this new tokenized economy. We have to foster, because it's going to be great for artists. And that's it. Thank you for the opportunity.
Fantastic. Thank you so much for coming up again. And everybody, we've got only like less than 2 minutes in this show, which is exactly the time where I say thank you so much for joining us again. I know we sort of have had Creators Guild sporadically. We're also always very spoiled to kind of meet up pretty often IRL here in Berlin, but we're also very happy to share what we've discussed and everything with whoever we can on the internet within the Solana ecosystem and the amazing creators that we admired very much. So thank you very much if you've tuned in. Product Guild is coming up right after this. So if you have any interest in joining Jess Wright in her Product Guild, which is a brand new guild that we have, it will be in the Solana Superteam Germany socials, and the links will be right there. And they'll also be using StreamYard. So that'll get going exactly in about...
And the topic is actually pretty exciting for creators as well, because the title is How to Speak Designer. I think that can be very relevant for most creatives as well, how to talk to designers properly to get your vision fulfilled. And the Product Guild at large is very much worth keeping an eye out for everybody who's even tangentially pondering to partake in a hackathon. The Product Guild will be something that you want to be part of.
Very cool. Very cool. So big alpha right here coming up in less than 2 minutes. So join Product Guild, and thank you, everybody. See you next time. We will keep you posted, and we'll share all the stuff that we shared out. And wonderful. Have a wonderful Wednesday evening. And until next time, ciao, ciao. Tschüssi.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Yeah. Ciao, ciao. Tschüss.